The Athletic have just reported that Spurs have been put off by Bournemouth's £65 million valuation for Antoine Semenyo. And they are also stating that Bryan Mbeumo's preference is to join Manchester United this summer. And Football.London have just reported that a new planning application has just been submitted. Spurs to build 4 buildings, a sports building and a hotel with 180 rooms next to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another episode of Tottenham News, but I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with a report from The Athletic. They are stating that Tottenham Hotspur have made an inquiry to Bournemouth about forward Antoine Semenyo, but are not proceeding with a move for the Ghanaian forward at present. Semenyo is thought to be attracted by the prospect of a move to North London, but Bournemouth's steep asking price has deterred further interest from Spurs in the short term, as well as his other suitors, including Manchester United. Bournemouth are thought to value the 25-year-old winger at £65 million. Semenyo has become an integral part of Andoni Iraola's Bournemouth side, scoring 21 goals across the last 2 seasons, including 13 in 42 appearances in all competitions last season. New Spurs head coach Thomas Frank wants to add to his attacking options this summer, despite the club completing the signing of forward Matisse Tel from Bayern Munich on a permanent basis following a 5-month loan spell. The report from The Athletic then goes on to say that Spurs hope to persuade Bryan Mbeumo to follow Frank from Brentford, but his preference is to join Manchester United, who submitted an opening offer of £45 million plus a further £10 million for the 25-year-old in add-ons earlier this month. Football.London have just reported that Tottenham Hotspur have submitted a new planning application for the 4 residential towers that will be built on the south stand end of their stadium. The 4 buildings plus a set of townhouses will stand on what is known as Plot 5 alongside a still-to-be-built extreme sports building and a 180-bedroom hotel with additional apartments that has been granted approval and is expected to be completed in time for the European Championships in 2028, with the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium one of the host grounds. On Friday evening, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club confirmed that Danté Cassanova has signed a new contract with the club that will run until 2027. A product of our academy system, 20-year-old Danté has been a regular for our under-21s over recent seasons. He was a key part of our Premier League 2 title-winning side at that level in the 2023-2024 campaign and captained the team on several occasions over the course of the recently concluded 24-25 campaign. A versatile defensive player who can operate either at centre-back, full-back or holding midfielder, Danté Cassanova was named as a sub for our first team on 8 occasions last term, including twice in the Premier League and 4 times on our run to Europa League glory. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and I say everything, there is only a couple of things actually in this episode, so apologies about that, but there isn't any news, not much going on at the moment. It is very, very quiet. Not even a lot of rumours and reports published in the national press right now concerning Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. The few things that have gone through The Athletic, David Ornstein has reported that Spurs have been put off by Bournemouth's asking price for Antoine Semenyo, £65 million. And they've also stated that Mbeumo's preference is to join Manchester United. Now, if that is the case, if Spurs are actually willing to pay what Brentford want for Bryan Mbeumo, I feel like it is a big shame that Bryan Mbeumo has probably chosen more money at Manchester United rather than to be playing under his old boss again, Thomas Frank, at Tottenham, and ultimately playing in the best club competition there is, the Champions League. But I feel like Spurs really do need to go big in this transfer window to help Thomas Frank. You know, the club have come out and said it on a couple of occasions now. You know, we want to be fighting on all fronts. Daniel Levy and Vinay Venkatesham has come out and said the other day that they want to win the Premier League and they want to win the Champions League. So, of course, this window is very, very important for the football club and the future, and to help Thomas Frank in his first season in charge to be fighting on all fronts. Spurs have been put off by the asking price of Antoine Semenyo, £65 million. What I've said and what I will continue to say is we as a football club, especially now we are a Champions League club, we should not be settling for second best, third best, fourth best. So if these people, someone like Antoine Semenyo, if he is your number one target and you desperately want this player, then the club needs to do everything in their power to go and get the players that they want, the players that they feel are going to improve the football club, especially if the likes of Heung-min Son is going to be heading out the door. You know, there might be a little bit of a shake-up with the squad. That is expected. It's always expected when a new manager comes in. But I just feel like you just need to give, you know, every chance and give the new manager the tools to you know, prepare best for the start of the new season. It's going to be interesting whether Spurs do try and negotiate this fee or whether they leave it a short while and then go back to Bournemouth with a lower offer. That's going to be interesting. The Mbeumo situation, of course, is going to be interesting as well. And I really feel like it would be a shame if he chose the money rather than playing in the Champions League and playing again under his old boss, Thomas Frank. New planning application has gone in at Tottenham. 4 buildings, sports building and a hotel, 180 rooms. This isn't new news. This is, you know, going over old news basically. But new planning applications have been put in because certain things have changed in the application itself. I'll try and cover some of this down at the stadium at some point. But you know, when fans keep seeing and hearing information about this, you know, a lot of fans would then say, well, why isn't, you know, the money going on the pitch? That is my concern as well. And, you know, we want to be seeing us competing on every level, Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and we want, as Spurs fans, to be concentrating on the pitch. I know the club are involved in a number of other projects. They've got a lot going on. But ultimately, you know, when we've tasted that success of the Europa League, you know, we want more. And we want to win more trophies and we want to be successful. So, you know, our full concentration as fans is always going to be on the pitch. You know, the fans are never going to worry about hotels or any other projects going on. If these projects are successful, and as Daniel Levy has said before, you know, all this money goes back onto the pitch. I feel like we haven't really seen a lot of that. Or I suppose the right thing to say is we haven't really seen much change from moving in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in terms of how much wages we pay, how much we pay for transfers, etc., etc. And like I've always said as well, you know, being very balanced about it and being very fair about it. Sometimes it's not all just about spending, you know, vast amounts of money to get good players in, because we've seen, you know, the likes of Ndombele and Giovanni Lo Celso, £100 million on those two combined, and we didn't really get a great deal out of both of them. So the recruitment needs to be absolutely right. But when you've got that opportunity to go out and spend a little bit more money on a much better player, then, there is a lot of frustration, especially when fans are hearing about hotels and other projects rather than on the pitch. And the club do make a lot of money from the concerts, and they will make a lot of money from these projects as well. And Spurs have got so many different projects going on. So I really do hope in the future that we do see a dramatic change on the pitch, and perhaps we can spend that little bit more money. And the Bryan Mbeumo situation is a perfect example of, can you pay these players a little bit more money? Because, unfortunately, today's day is all about money, and the players and the agents, they chase as much money as they can. And this might be proved with Bryan Mbeumo choosing the money rather than playing in the Champions League and staying in London. But I really do hope that does change in the future, that Spurs can actually adjust the wages at the club. So we will be, the place where a lot of people will want to go, because we will pay what everyone else is paying as well, and be a top European club, a top Premier League club. And if Daniel Levy and Vinay Venkatesham and the rest of the board want, those players to always want to come to Tottenham, then I feel like that wage structure does probably need to change at some point. But yeah, as I mentioned, it's a slow day, and it's been a slow couple of days actually in terms of news, rumours and reports. But whenever anything is going on, of course, we will cover it on this channel. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.